Well, good evening. I'm the Noble Q. Now I seem to have lost my camera. Let's try and get that back. There we go. Hello, everybody. And I'm hoping that you can now hear me clearly. And I think I figured out what the problem was. Dilly the cat's been playing with the game button on the microphone again. So we're going to have a short stream aboard of Warplanes this evening. And what we're going to be concentrating on is what you can see here. There is a bundle in the shop currently called the Parade of Veterans. In it includes the Tomashevich Pegasus, the Focke-Wulf Fw 56 Stosser, got to say that carefully in English, and the Messerschmitt Me 210. Good evening, Robert. How are you? And I was asked if I would demonstrate these aircraft. Now, I have a full video on the Me 210 already on the site, so if you want to go and find out everything you possibly can about that plane, I recommend you go and see the video after this. However, I'm not likely ever to produce videos for the Pegasus or the FW56, and therefore I thought this might be a quick way of demonstrating what they're all about to you. So let's get Warplanes back to the foreground. And how have we built this? Well, first off, a little bit of history about this aircraft. It used to be available as a reward, not a reward aircraft, as an aircraft that came with introductory codes for the game back in 2017, 2018. I think it's now available in crates. Obviously, the introductory codes are no longer valid. Long gone. Not sure we'll ever see any more of those. It's very manoeuvrable, especially with a very, very skilled pilot, as you can see, with aerobatics and aerodynamics expert in place, plus lightweight wing frame, lightweight power unit. We've got the maneuverability up to 98. Now, this is still going to have trouble with the favourite aircraft of SEAL Clubbers at Tier 2, the I-5 Chikas and the XP-31. However, if they're not quite up to snuff with their turning, and you know everything there is about turning, you might still be able to get the better of them, and also a gun sight. And given the speed of this aircraft, given its Tier 2, I probably wouldn't look at any alternative build for this. So that's enough on that. Let's get into a game and see what we can do. Hi, Cleeks. It was Dilly. It's always Dilly. Dilly had, earlier on, brushed up against the microphone in jumping up onto the desk to say hello. She must have turned the game button right down without me realising. So that was quite irritating. But at least I diagnosed it in the end. Bartolok, lovely to have you along. Not sure who the lady is here, probably me. You're probably a little bit fooled by the beard there, but there you go. Good to have you along. So, just to reiterate, we're going to do the Parade of Veterans bundle. Probably concentrate more on the FW56 and the Pegasus than we will the ME210, because I've got a full video on the 210 on the channel already, but we will at least do something in ME210. Nighttime map. Not good for me, actually. Very tricky. Clearly, the important sector is the mining plant. Equally clearly, I'm outclassed there, especially as they've got a BK-534. Not so much the Bristol, though that's very manoeuvrable as well. They also have the SEAL Clubber's favourite, the I-5 Chikas. We have a SEAL Clubber's favourite, the XP-31. But they may not do so well at Tier 3. I'm going to concentrate on the garrisons and just so that my team can take that mining plant, or take this garrison and then see if I want to go to the mining plant to do something else. So as I say, with this highly skilled pilot and a light manoeuvrability build, plus the skills that I have in turning, I should be able to give a decent account of myself against almost anything. Guns on this, however, are no more than average. They're okay. They do a decent job, but they're certainly not, for instance, in the Chikas class. Frankly, I think the guns on that are bugged. And something has managed to die here. I know it's only Tier 2, but really shouldn't be dying on your own local sectors. And that's done. Let's just get a little bit more damage before it blows up. There we go. Now then, what's going on at the plant? Well, perhaps we should have a go. Chilly Billy, lovely to have you along. So for those of you who are just arriving, just a reminder, what we're doing is the Parade of Veterans bundle. So we're going to be flying the FW56 Stosser. To say that so carefully, I'm going to get that wrong on stream somewhere. We'll fly the Pegasus. I can't actually remember ever flying, although I have because I specialised it. And we'll also do the ME210. Now, I have a full video on the ME210. Again, just as encouragement, I'm going to say that if you want to know all about that aircraft, please go and have a look at the video. I'm not likely to do videos on the FW56 or the Pegasus, so this will have to do. Yes, lucky there isn't special project equipment down at do you know what? We're seeing some classic Tier 2ism here. Nobody is at the plant. They have half a dozen aircraft floundering about in the middle, fighting outside of sectors. Well, we'll go and deal with the manifest threats. They've got 2 ground attackers now coming in. Specialised. Oh, the Shikass. I wonder what he's going to go for. That could be nasty. Or he could turn away. You just get to shoot the ground attackers. Okay. Everybody stockpile the Tisha, because otherwise it's going to take a lot to knock him down. Oh dear. Another Tier 2ism, ramming the ground attacker. And flying across your teammate and preventing them from shooting. Tier 2, hey? Well, we've actually lost our local garrison. And our big problem is, I can't get up to that bomber, I think. Somebody is signalling to shoot him, so somebody knows what they're talking about. Might actually be smarter of the enemy team not to come here and let the bomber just take this. Try and work my way out, but I'm already losing performance. SP31 is probably trying to do the same. What we really need is for something to come in that we can shoot down and reverse their progress. So I'm not going to go for the ground attackers just yet. Fortunately, they do have a problem. It looks like all of the ground targets are destroyed at the plant, so for the moment they have to wait. So in a sense we can do some repairs here. We can shoot down the ground attackers. Have to worry about bombs on the Pegasus. It's got, if I remember, 9 rockets. Provided we can keep a killing aircraft here, should be able to keep the plant. To watch what's behind me. And finally the Shikass is in, but he's flown either into guns or he's flown into a ground attacker. Sure what happened there. I think we're probably pretty safe now. Not the most exciting of games. Basically not a dogfighting map. Nice of the ground attacker rear gunner to shoot out my wing just at that very moment. Okay, and the plant count goes through, and that's a win. Hi Vertic, yeah, I don't like the dark maps. I can't see properly on them because of my loss of sight. Please, if I were you, I wouldn't advertise the fact that you're aware of what the relative performance of the Tier 2 aircraft are. It seems a bit dodgy to me. Unless you've just been looking them up. Right, so we'll fly that again. We'll play 2 or 3 games in the Stosser and then move on to the Pegasus. That would have actually been a much better map for the Pegasus, to be truthful. I do like your emotes, Chilly Billy, the Penguin and the Jolly Roger. So what happens when you first get this aircraft? If we just pop it into stock, see that you've actually got all of these available. Actually, let's just look at the survivability figure here. It's a pretty decent figure. Let's take that off. Put on the first aid package. Let's take that off. Control assist there. Actually, I shouldn't have anything on here, should I? Because this is the stock configuration. You actually get all of the equipment slots straight off. You're lacking 1 consumable on the engine. Let's pop back into specialist and have a look and got. That's better. That's more properly configured, I would suggest. Okay, so let's go with the 56 Stosser again. What a good looking aircraft. Have we got any special camouflages for it? Well, actually, we've got a chrome camouflage, apparently. So we'll put that on. That's what I've just flown with, I'm sure. So as I say, I think this aircraft originally was available through introduction codes going back in 2017, 2018, and has now moved into crates. If you're a completist, you must have it, but otherwise it's sort of fun. It's like an AR-67, but it's not the SEAL Clubber's aircraft of choice, and the reason for that is because it's not as powerful as the XB-31 or the R5 Shikaz. Hi Saberjack, is the bundle good value for money? You see. Okay, so the cost is in euros about 20 euros. The ME210 is infrequently available, and initially when you get it, you'll probably struggle to make it a true air superiority heavy. However, it's got very good bombs. Most people overlook, and it's decently equipped with weaponry, so it's a goodish aircraft to have. I would be glad to have that in my hangar. The Pegasus, you're really buying it with a rarity value as well, although it's no longer as rare as it used to be. It was first offered for sale in March 2019. Nobody had actually seen it in the game apart from the testers back in 2013, so it was quite a rare bird to the players. It's not no longer that, so I'm not sure you'd want it for a rarity value. The FW56 Stosser is okay, but it's nothing special. Not sure how much gold there is in that bundle. Basically, what I would say to you is, Saberjack, go and find out how much the gold in the bundle costs. And if the gold is pretty much £19 or thereabouts, 19 euros I should say, and you're happy to spend that kind of money on wargaming products, the ME210 is definitely worth having. The other two, not so much. We'll probably do that after this. We'll go and see how much is in the gold. How much the gold would cost you, and whether the aircraft are effectively coming free. Yeah, good. I suppose I should be going to face plant myself in the ground. And here you can see the weaponry is not great, is it? You would have knocked down that with an I-5 Shikaz in half the time. Even an XB-31 would have certainly done a lot better on it against it. I'm in range. In range. Wow, that took a long time. So you're really relying on your agility here. Time to kill is pretty awful. At least the guns don't overheat very quickly. If they did that as well, this would be a very tricky aircraft. Oh, we're having fun, aren't we? At least I think we're having fun. I'm sure I want to be going after a Focke-Wulf 57 in this. I think my time to kill on that might be a very long time. Okay, let's go for the specialised HE-51. He's being harassed by another player as well. Stop flying away. Fighter off my port that if I start getting shot, I need to pay attention to. I wasn't, so that's fine. Long range shots. The kill. Oh, he's flying away. Just simply speed away from me. That's a waste of time chasing him. Go and see if we can do something about this ground attacker. Oh no, won't, because we've got a fighter on that. There we go. You've been doing a spreadsheet on which plane... Oh, special, of course. Specialisation, pretty much a thing of the past for me, apart from on some bombers. I'm amazed you've gone down as far as Tier 2. And it only takes about 5 minutes to specialise them. Still, thank you for the information. May as well take the damage. Oh, hello. Oh, I think I know what's just happened. I suspect my wife has just come through the door and we've just lost the internet. Never mind, we're back on it now. Go, good. Game appears to be well in hand at the moment. Just need to keep knocking aircraft down. Taking the hit points where we can. There's an awful lot of red behind me. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to stay on this. But let's go and see exactly what's close to me. Not much, actually. No, they seem to be fairly welded to that airfield, don't they? Roll. Oh, I think he's going to get a ram on me. Lucky him.
Receiving reports about rapidly deteriorating weather conditions.
That's right, Vertic. This is a low tier map. I'm surprised you can see it at tier 4, but you're right, you can. Let's go off and see if we can take this sector. So you can see I'm giving a pretty good account of myself in a tier 3 battle. To be fair, the opposition can't handle my turning. Which is no surprise since I'm a dab hand at that. Had plenty of experience at higher tiers. may not be able to get here quickly enough to be able to get any damage.
We cannot support you any longer. The storm is too heavy. Do you copy? Over.
Maybe a tiny amount on this AO192. A couple of criticals going through. Oh well, we got that as well. Tier 2, eh? Idiot behind me trying to fly through me. Not too bad. 15,785 in a Tier 3 battle, I'll take that. Let's just go and have a quick look at this bundle. It's in the gold. So you get only 2,690 gold. Better than nothing. Let's go and have see if we can do a quick calculation. Now, clearly, that's not going to set you back £19.53 or €18.53. Shop. Warplanes. Gold. Amount of gold. What an odd amount. 2,690. What's going on there? Amount of gold. Select amount. So 2,690. Oops, that's 20,000. Would look like a good deal. Actually, 2,690 gold will set you back about £9.11. So that's the best part of €10. So we're really talking about €9 for a Tier 5 and 2 Tier 2s. I think that's pretty good value, actually. And especially as the ME210 is a pretty decent plane if you know what you're doing. Yeah, I'm not going to recommend it to you. Basically, it's your money. You need to decide for yourself whether you can afford it or not. But I don't think this is a badly priced bundle. So let's fly the Stosser again once more, and then we'll go into the Pegasus. I would caution anybody not to throw too much money at planes at the moment. I think there are some issues. Part of the joy of the game is getting up those lines to Tier 10s. At the moment, it's a real problem because almost all of the aircraft at Tier 10 are redundant except for the EF-131, the Su-10, the Javelin, and perhaps a tanked up Me-262, and everything else can almost go whistle-Dixie. And this is because the CIS players that appear to have come across from their server, which is closing down soon, appear to really like their bombers. So at the weekend, I was seeing things like 6 Tier 10 bombers in a game. That's unplayable. If you're in anything other than a heavy, that's unplayable. So I would be a bit cautious, because if you're salivating at the prospect of getting your first Tier 10, be prepared for disappointment. You may find that it's not competitive, particularly if for instance, it's something like a Yak 30 or a Key 1623. You may be able to have an enjoyable game, but if there are EF-131s in the game, your contribution will be incidental, and I never like that feeling. So we're top tier here, so we're going to go straight for the airfield and see what we can do. Probably going to be on for more than an hour, actually. If I've played 3 games in the Stosser, and I'll do it at least the same in the Pegasus. I'll probably play a couple in the ME210. I'm probably going to be on for the best part of 2 hours, actually. That's fun.
Pilots, get ready for action. Let's go.
Tier 2. You could probably get 40 winks in before you reach a sector. somewhat forgotten how slow the game can seem at Tier 2. Oh, okay. So I helped you. Perhaps you can help me by letting me shoot you down. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, good. Something else is on that. Got a feeling our friends... Oh, there's one. There they are, both of them. I'm going to say I've got a feeling they didn't commit to the airfield. Looks like they possibly went and took their garrison first and then came to the airfield. Probably not. Okay. We've got 2 sectors to 1. I think we probably ought to go off and try and secure another. Could lose the airfield here, but provided we take the garrison, that won't be so bad. Doing. There's a Tier 2. Need to grind a multi-rolls to get the javelin. Well, you won't get the javelin off a multi-roll line. I really shouldn't have looked at chat then, should I? I really shouldn't. That was a bit daft. Okay, so what you mean is heavies. Okay, so something to warn you about. The Javelin is one of those aircraft I think is worth grinding for at the moment to Tier 10, so that's the good news. The British multi-rolls are very heavy on ordnance all the way up to and including Tier 9, and then the Javelin doesn't get any at all. So it's a distinct change in style. It's a pure air superiority heavy, and for my money it's the best aircraft heavy at Tier 10 in the current meta. The XF-90 is too lightweight, so is surprisingly the Me-262. But I build that like a tank, and at least it's got heavy weaponry, which the XF-90 doesn't. The Javelin's one aircraft in Tier 10 where actually I don't mind bomber spam, because it's so good at knocking them down. Especially if you know how to attack the bombers and don't give them much chance to use their rear gunners on you. I don't think I've done a video on the Mosquito, however a long time ago I'm pretty sure I did a video on the Hornet on my site. Might want to go and look at that Saberjack. British multi-rolls are pretty good as well. I've still got getting to grips with the Hunter. There's a difficult one at Tier 9, the Seahawk. Just a bit anemic. The Hunter can be fun. You get into the right battle and it's not plagued with bombers. You can do funky things with that. Nobody seems to want to come near me. So my game has slowed down dramatically. This could have been a game with 20, 25,000 had the enemy been contesting the centre, but it really looks as if they've all sort of gone, no, not having that. You can have the centre, we'll go somewhere else. I actually had to slow down for this one, which is always dangerous in a dogfight. Wiggly wiggly. Of course, he's lost his engine, so he's very, very slow. Ugh, just couldn't finish him. Something else is going to finish him, surely. Surely he can't keep flying around at one hit point. No? Okay, I will finish him then. Okay.
Support you any longer. The storm is too heavy. Do you copy? Over. We have complete control of
That's
the
it.
sky.
Probably not going to get anything else done now. Enemy has come. Defeated him. He has left. I'll go for the ram because it's American. I foolishly let it get it, but we'd won the game. FW Stosser. That's all you need to know. I build it for manoeuvrability, and largely you will outmaneuver almost anybody except those people who know exactly what they're doing in the i5 Shikass or the XP31. Probably not going to worry about an i7 too much. Well, yeah, maybe. I mean, I was loath to do that. The problem with spending your XP to go through to new aircraft is that you don't get to play them, find out what they're like, and find out their strengths and weaknesses. I would probably, personally, if it were me, save your XP for getting aircraft from stock to specialist, rather than going from aircraft to aircraft. Of course, you may not want to specialise the aircraft, in which case your approach is better for you. Okay, right, so let's go and have a look at the Pegasus. And frankly, I'm not really going to be too clever in this initially. I haven't got much of a pilot, as you can see. Demolition expert, so let's have a look at the cumulative damage, 4,901. Doesn't sound a lot, we'll have to see what it's like at tier 2. Oddity, 9 rockets. Okay, maybe 3 gun emplacements, use 3 on each. Build, I used to build all my ground attackers with like tanks. Nowadays I tend to build them for speed, so hence this rig here. The survivability is pretty high, it's still 71, even though I've got the uprated engine on, though that's not fully enhanced yet. But I've kept the fire extinguisher here. A little bit of history on this aircraft. I remember correctly, this is was a reward aircraft for early testers. So this would have been during summer of 2013, as Wargaming was building up to releasing the game, which it did in the middle of November. We're just nearly at the 9th birthday of Warplanes, and for a long time only the testers had this aircraft, if I remember correctly. It then went on sale in March 2019 as a part of a Legends bundle, along with the ME 210, not the 410, ME 210, and also the XP77. Okay, so ground attacker with rockets, a little bit unusual at tier 2. Let's go and see what we can do. Yep, as I say, Saberjack, you need to think about it. What I was saying would be suitable to me, but if you're not specialising your aircraft, then why not use it to get the next aircraft? The only thing I would say is don't do what I did, which was rush up the tiers very, very quickly. I had what was then all tier 10 aircraft within 6 months. There were 18 of them, so that's a lot of work I did in 6 months, from back end of October 2017 to early May 2018. I got all of the tier 10 aircraft, and I sucked. I sucked big time in almost every plane that I played. because I'd rushed up those tiers and I hadn't learned how to fly anything. I still have some bad habits to this day.
Attention! You are entering the combat zone. Get ready for battle. Good luck.
Well, I'm slow. There's no point in going to their plant. I'll just be a hit point pinata. Oh my god, they've got 5 specialised aircraft. We've got 4. They've got 2 heavies, an XB-31, a Shikas. I suppose the only way it could be worse is if those were FW-57s. We do have FW-57. Well, I hope our guys know what they're doing. I've got to go and find out what the Pegasus can do. These rockets. Do about 700 damage each. Not altogether certain I'm going to be able to take out the central object with this. What we'll do is we'll try. I've got another ground attacker. It's only me. Being a tier 3 battle, do you know what? I'm actually going to be going more conservative. Didn't check the reload time. I'm going to take out gun emplacements. No, I won't. I know what to do. We'll go for the 30-point targets, the fuel storage units. We use 5 rockets. Well, it looks like one of them's just been obliterated, so maybe not. Oh, go on. Let's try it. Okay, so... yeah, a little bit of a struggle to take a central object with this. I'm going to try and finish what we started, though. Won't do this again. Rockets aren't up to powerful enough. I'm not surprised to learn that at tier 3. We will pile a couple of rockets in here. That should be good enough for that. Oh, I actually took out 2 of them. That's handy. Pick the right object. Perhaps I should... actually, I maybe didn't. Maybe I should pick the central one there. Now we'll try and take out this one with the guns. Won't, because somebody's unhelpfully taken it for me. Reload is fairly quick. I'm so slow. Don't really want to go to the airfield, which we've lost. At least we've got our plant before they have. I'm going to go and try and take this garrison. It wasn't even a case of burnout. I mean, I really enjoyed myself. And it was amusing being able to get... I should say the economy of the game was even better than it is now back in 2017, 2018, which allowed me to go up in tiers very quickly. So I didn't get burned out. I just didn't know what I was doing. So much so that I can remember, I used to keep statistics, I lost 29 games in a row in the tier 10 BVP 215 because I had no idea, not the slightest idea how to fly it. I really like that aircraft now. Right, so now we are going to go for softer targets, smaller value targets, but we're going to try and take out 3 of them. Really? Didn't take out the bunker. I'm going to have to fire another rocket at it. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. No, 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 no. It's going to have to go up. Idiot. Not get up quickly enough. That was me being greedy. Guns aren't very good either. I was hoping I was going to knock that tent down. take the shed complex out. So now we're in all sorts of trouble because we haven't even taken our local garrison here. And if I go there, I'm going to feed myself to multi-roles and fighters. So what do I do now? Hard to say. Really hard to say. Maybe I should go for the plant. Might have more chance over there. I definitely am going to get shot down if I go to that garrison. Okay, so what we've got, the Pegasus. Guns don't seem very strong. Wish that had happened a few seconds ago. I could have spawned there and gone to their plant. The rockets are okay. Something different at tier 2 as well. Maybe I can... I'll be able to ping this air. The FW-57 keeps flying straight. That's embarrassing, getting shot down by an AO-192 when you're in an FW-57. I'm not pursuing him, I'm actually trying to get to the plant. The air defence aircraft kept going at him, but he's still on half health. This could be a good test. He comes for me. Find out what these guns are like. Not very good, I suspect. Oh well. Missed with all those rockets though. Still we'll have them back in 40 odd seconds. You really shouldn't have rammed me. It would have been much easier to avoid me and then shoot me down.
Receiving reports about rapidly deteriorating weather conditions. Support will be unable.
And of course, as I finally arrive at the plant, the Q syndrome strikes and they've taken it. Yeah, that's interesting. Those rockets actually feel pretty underpowered to me. On both those aircraft. They're definitely underpowered on the P-40 M105. Don't think I'm going to get him before he leaves this sector. Wow. Okay, those 12.7mm are definitely not strong. One 12.7mm. Okay, so I've made all sorts of bad decisions here. So we'll do better in the next game, but what we'll do for the moment is we'll go off and fly the ME-210. So we're waiting to get that aircraft back. I've got a funky camo for the XP-55 Saberjack. It's one of the odd camouflages that were put on sale this weekend, which, for the first time that I can remember, actually had 4 characteristics. The standard characteristics that you get with the seasonal camouflages on plane plus 8% to aircraft experience. And they've actually made it look like a cartoon. Let's go and have a quick look at that, shall we? XP-55. Welcome to a cartoon. Virtually made a face out of that. You just look at that there. Special camouflage. First 3 bonuses are the ones that you get on the seasonal camouflages, but then you get 8% aircraft experience. What's not to like about that? Especially if you've got crew training ticked, because you've got to that stage, it goes all on your crew. Anyway, this is not the aircraft we're going to fly. Let's fly the Tier 5. 210. Let's have a quick look at this. Obviously a crew trainer. Quite fast, not very agile. do make use of these really good bombs. I've actually got Demolition Expert on this pilot here to increase their potency, so don't overlook those, because the aircraft, its weaponry is sort of all right. It's not terrific, but overall, if you know what you're doing in one of these heavies and you're not up against an XP-54 or two, probably won't be against an XP-54, maybe ME-410s, do really well in this plane, and I really like it. I think Kleeks is really fond of it as well. So what we'll do, we'll probably do 2 games in the ME-210, we'll do 2 more in the Pegasus, and that probably will be enough, unless I feel that there's more on the Pegasus that I need to get right and show you. That game there, it was kind of a learning experience, and made some bad decisions based on what I thought I might be able to do, but in fact... Okay, I think I'm top tier. I have no heavies against me. Oh, wow. Well, this is a horrible mismatch. I wouldn't be surprised if I see some quitters on this team here. We have 3 specialised heavies and 2 A6M3 experimentals in a flight. This is utterly... well, I'm going to say straightforwardly, unless they are terrible players, this team, this is utterly unfair. Yes, Maggie, thank you for coming in. Now please stop singing on the desk. I'm going to use the bombs immediately. Go. Auxiliary ground attack, and we've already got that, so let's gain altitude and go off towards the airfield. Yeah, the XP-54, fortunately it's flown a little bit less, I think, these days, because people are fed up of it going into Tier 7 battles. What a good thing too. It's still a pest at Tier 6, that's for sure. Okay. Okay. Wow, didn't get on target there very quickly. Why is my team struggling to take this airfield? Okay, good. Is it worth me trying to get a bead on this light fighter, or am I being silly? Being silly, he's trying to get me. You've got a heavy on your tail. Finally he realises and turns. Not before. The heavy's done quite a lot of damage to him, and so have I. Well, it's not as one-sided as I thought it was going to be, which is good. In fact, it's not one-sided at all. They're actually making a really strong go of this. could do with some help now. I've taken off most of his health. Can somebody else please shoot him? Got that back very quickly. So what do we want to do here to establish dominance? Because this has been a tight game so far. Probably should go and get repairs, but I'm going to see if I can try and take this garrison. Got bombs, so time to use one, I think. Maybe not. Get the opportunity. Let's go and pick off repairs. XP 44 is really quick, but even he's giving up, so that's okay. And well done to the enemy team. I mean, they are now on the wrong end of this battle, but nobody's dropped out so far. There, my team hasn't really scored as heavily as I expected. Picked up repairs. Let's pick up some boost as well. Do I need to go for the bombers? No, there's one of the heavies on those. He's farming those. That's fine, I'll let him do that. Probably shouldn't be chasing its HE-112. But the job is done now. I was going to shoot that. Let's use the rear gunner. And again, he follows me whilst being shot by something else. Tempting, but likely to cause your aircraft to be lost.
Hang in there. You'll soon be cut off from support. I say again, support will not be available. Way to go. Victory is close.
Perhaps I should go and farm the bombers now. I actually think the other heavy here is going to get this bomber because he's flying towards him. Okay, that's that one down.
The heavy storm here. Unable to proceed.
Nowhere near as one-sided as I feared it would be. It's been reasonably competitive, this game, for the most part, which surprised me, actually. If the A6M3s... I don't know, one of them certainly got a fair number of points. Well, in fact, they both got a fair number of points, so I'm not quite sure.
We have complete control of the skies. Way to go.
Good night game.
Great job today.
And there you go.
We'll be waiting for you back home.
Much more competitive game than I expected. The enemy team gave it a good go. They ended up losing to superiority in the end, but it took a while. We had to fight for it. Maguire's and McCampbell's there, so the ME-210 in top tier. You can be very dominant in this aircraft, and you've got those excellent bombs as well to help you flip sectors. Really good plane. Build it for speed. Boosters have come off. I'll think I'll put some more boosters on, actually. There we go. So I've even taken the uprated engine. Survivability rating is still very good. So it's all about the speed on this. How about I could put long gun barrels on this? Gas operated action. So I've put the DPS up. That's interesting. That's normally my preferred route, to put the DPS up. The alternative, I think, probably would be to put long gun barrels on this. Gun sight, speed build. Well, that's interesting. Exhaust it, bleed, inerting system. I don't think I strictly need that. Having said that, there's no real need for pneumatic control assist or emergency control system either, so I think that's going to stay as it is. Nice aircraft. What's not to like? Definitely the best plane in that bundle for sure. And as I say, if you're really only paying about £10 for 3 aircraft because of the gold components in the bundle, I think that's a reasonably priced bundle. And whilst I wouldn't be too thrilled about the Pegasus and the FW56 Stosser, because let's face it, you're going to move on from Tier 2. This aircraft is one to keep revisiting and playing now and then, particularly for when you've got dailies that you want to do. Of course, got a highly skilled demolition expert helps. Right, let's get back to that Pegasus and see if we can do something a little bit more useful with it than we did in that first game. I'm going to put those boosters on. We're going to play probably 2 more games in the Pegasus. Yeah, it's worth actually putting boosters on, because we're going to play at least 4 games. Oh, of course, it's dumped me straight into a game. Just when I want to come out and put some boosters on, it says, nope, you're in a game.
You are approaching the area of combat operations. Be ready.
Okay, so this time we are top tier. We'll do a little bit of practice. We'll see what the rockets do against the 2 shared complexes. I can afford to use 5 rockets, I think. So 2 on the outside ones, 3 and 1 in the middle. Or maybe even 2, 1, 1 and maybe 1 in the middle to try and destroy the tents as well. Let's see. This is ideal. They're side on here. Oh, I fired them a bit early. Okay, so that's a mistake. Range on these rockets is not very good. No rear gunner either, so yeah, that's a mistake. Bad mistake I've just made. It's because I'm thinking higher tier aircraft. Sorry, higher tier ground attackers would easily have reached with the rockets there. Okay, so we take out the heavy. Let's try and take out... Oh, okay, good, right. So we need to be close. 3,000 feet, probably less. Right. Set your watches. Go off and make a cup of tea. And I'll let you know when I've reached another sector. Looks like my team is not very good. This guy is out of the game with having done 0 damage. So it looks like they're actually going to take our airfield. Fortunately, 5 is not interested in me at the moment. To the ground attacker. Okay, economical use of rockets there. Do this. Two more. Let's look for an appropriate target. That's it. Some pilot. Yeah, the gun on this is definitely not taking out ground targets. It's all about these rockets. Guess I'm the only one here, aren't I? Wouldn't surprise me if here, because my team seems to be fairly new to the game, shall I say. Managed to make the guns work on that target. How much longer I can survive, I can't say. Not very long is my guess. Actually, these rockets are proving to be... Let's just fire a couple this time. Oh, actually, interesting. Yeah, the blast radius is actually pretty good. Oh, there we go, fire. It's that last target. Unfortunately, I chose to head off to their airfield, not realising that my team couldn't even take its own airfield. And hasn't put up any defence of this either. Oh, and this guy's still got 0 points, so he's not in the game. Just flying around. So we're getting some bad games in the Pegasus, unfortunately. But we're beginning to get a feel for the rockets. Let's go and see if we can shoot down some ground attackers whilst we're waiting for the reload. That is not good. That heavy is making a beeline straight for me. Wow. Special team at tier 2, this one. What that means is I haven't been able to take on any of the ground attackers before they've left the sector. Let's see what 3 rockets will do here. Okay, good. Didn't get those all in the right place. One rocket in the middle of these tents to see if that's a blast radius that will help. Oh, we took out 2. Ooh, oh dear. Oh, that was a bad team. That really was a bad team. Did we have a guy score nothing? Thank you. I've just had some food arrive. Lovely. Okay, so we'll do one more in the Pegasus. Now we begin to go Privyet. Try and keep it in English, please, but thank you very much. I recognise that as hello. We'll do one more in the ME210, so we probably won't put boosters on now. That will be the little bit of showcase of this Parade of Veterans bundle. And as I say, for what it's worth, I think if you're prepared to spend about £10 on 3 aircraft, it's nice to get the ME210. I don't think the Pegasus and the FW56 Stosser are going to be of much interest to you. Even if you enjoy playing them right now, you are going to move on, and you probably won't play a lot of Tier 2 in future months. Right, so these rockets at Tier 2 aren't bad, but they're short range. Much shorter range than I realised.
Attention. You are entering
Good
the
chance I'm
combat
top
zone.
tier here.
Get ready for battle.
Okay.
Good luck.
We will go to the Teal cover. We will go to the garrison, then we'll try to go to the slow, so I'm going to go to the nearest garrison first, and then probably this garrison over here. Time I should have reloaded. Don't think there's much point in me going to the airfield.
Let's roll.
Given what we've learned. Don't fire too soon. Okay, got it. Let's reload. Let's go off to this garrison over here. Okay, so the 3 rockets aren't quite strong enough to take the sheds out. So we probably need 4, so that will be 2 on the central shed and 2 on the outside. You might get away with it. They're making a play for the garrison over here. That's interesting. What have they got? That suggests to me... Maybe it doesn't. I'm not sure where their heavy is. That's what I'm wondering. Multi-rolls here. We've got the centre. I hope I'm going to get some support here, but typically what happens is that everybody just stays in the centre and dogfights. Not going to use any more boost here. I have a feeling I might be trying to take this after it's been seized by the enemy. Taking a long time to add the final bit. Of course, as I just get into range, that's when they'll do it. That's always what happens. Okay, so still got quite a bit to go. Let's just wander in. Maybe we'll get to shoot down a Becker. I don't really want to shoot him down just yet. Oh, I can. Let's do it. Actually let him get out of the sector. That's unfortunate. Wait. Well, 4 rockets to it. Ah, yes. Couldn't see. Now that's the eye problem. I actually couldn't see I was that low. This map. That's unfortunate. And irritating. I was just about to deliver a successful attack there. Oh, we've now lost the middle as well. Which makes it doubly hard. So, not really a carry aircraft, the Pegasus, particularly if you fly it badly like I've been flying it. Although I was a bit unlucky there, I literally could not see the ground because I've only got sight of one eye. The depth perception is gone. So ground attackers are a bit tricky for me, especially on these nighttime maps. Well, having started promisingly, the team is now struggling. Really struggling. What's left here? is not good. Just all of the ground targets have already gone. Oh, left a tent behind.
Control of all key objects. You cannot leave it like that.
It's annoying. Okay, so if we destroy that tent... Oh, somebody's already done it, so that's not an option. Okay. Well, we may as well try and go into the airfield, but as I say, we seem to have make a promising start, and then my team just seemed to, once they'd lost the airfield, seemed to lose heart and never go back there. If I don't go to the airfield, I'll never reach the garrison in time. Probably going to be hit point fodder. Whoever is defending the airfield. I think it's P-31 hasn't done a great deal actually. It's been mostly the A192 that's been doing the good work.
Hang in there. You'll soon be cut off from support. I say again, support will not be available.
Oh yes. Yeah, there isn't protection here. Yep, there I go. Team. Interesting. For a team that took the airfield right at the start of the game, the moment they lost it, it looked like they just refused, absolutely refused to go back there.
Do you copy?
So,
You've done what you could. Go back.
beginning to get to grips with the Pegasus, but it's not strong. So what we'll do, we'll play the ME from 210 one more time, and we'll wrap it up there, and that will be your showcase for the Parade of Veterans bundle. And off we go. And truth be told, if you're going to buy this Parade of Veterans bundle, you're buying it for this plane. You're not buying it for the other two.
You are approaching the area of combat operations.
Hey, top tier.
Be ready.
We're going to play conventionally because this is tier 5, so we'll go high over the plant initially. What I was pondering there was whether, because we had all these heavies, it might be worth me going low, but we won't do that. Play conventionally. Generally, when you're starting out in heavies, I recommend you try and stay high and fast. Try not to go down straight away until you've been able to use the minimap to assess the threats to you should you descend. I know it's very tempting to get in and use that ordnance straight away, but normally what you find is that you're shot down by fighters and multi-rolls that are hanging around. Experienced players perhaps can see the map more clearly. They might be able to do that kind of thing and get away with it because they go in to a weak point, as it were, and they have an exit route already planned in their head. But for the average player of heavies, stay high first and really, really think hard about going down. Especially in something like the Blenheim, which is very slow to climb. However, that said, this has got excellent ordnance. I do want to use it. Let's take out the big bomber first, because there's a lot of hit points there to add. And it's a human player as well. Two of us were shooting it at the same time, which is why I wasn't getting any registration there. Oh, wow. Okay, that actually surprises me. I'm not quite sure how they got that. So I want to stay this side. I am going to use my ordnance, and I'm going to use it on the special object. 5 seconds name because it's... Okay, why is Obs messing around? Hope that's only an... Ah, what on earth is going on here? How have we lost 4 sectors? When we have 3 heavies, what on earth is going on? We still haven't taken the plant, despite having a massive number of aircraft there. Now we've finally taken the plant, good. Okay, right, now we need to make sure we get their heavies and their bombers. We mustn't lose the plant. Got 3-2 up. Staggered we were so far behind. Oh, blast, the bow fighter's turning the same way as me. That's pretty irritating. Mustn't get stuck here defending. This is not the place I want to be defending. Bomber. Good. Let's keep the altitude. Choose the moment. It's dead, so we'll now keep the altitude. Has he gone into orbit? Yes, he has. Didn't quite finish him off the gun. So we want some separation now because we've got 3 aircraft behind us. About 4,000 feet. Come back and try and take one of them out. Not the Grand Attacker first, we need to get the escorts.
Be advised, a line of thunderstorms is approaching. We'll soon be unable to provide support. Do you copy? Over. Keep it up. Victory is almost ours.
And same rule, get the 4,000 feet separation. Actually, he's busy now, so see if we can catch him. He's busy. Some lousy shooting there. On counts, and game that looked a bit worrying right at the start is now turned into an easy win, which I would have expected originally. Didn't look like it was going to be like that.
Victory is ours. We're waiting for your return.
Okay. Didn't feel like I was particularly effective in that battle, but there we go, we pulled out a win. Hello, Sergeant Zach, good to see you. Right, ladies and gentlemen, that's 3 games each in the FW56 Stosser and the Pegasus, which I didn't play very well, to be honest, and 2 in the ME210. Now, if you're interested in the ME210, and I think, if truth be told, if you're going to buy the Parade of Veterans bundle, I think the ME210 is the reason why you're going to buy the bundle. I have a full video on that aircraft on my YouTube site. Do go and check that out. But with that, say that the stream has ended. Thank you so much for all of you who watched. I hope you found that useful. Obviously, this will now immediately be uploaded as a VOD, I suppose, available to watch, and people can see what those 3 aircraft are. And until the next time, this is the Noble Q saying cheerio. See you again soon, everybody.